welcome to the 43rd Minute Review Show. Today we're going to be talking about Oblivion, the new film from Joseph Kosinski, starring Tom Cruise, Morgan Freeman, Olga Kurylenko and Andrea Riseborough. Hopefully I got a little bit of some of those last few names right. Anyway, let's jump straight into it. So, Oblivion feels like it's a bit of a patchwork between a lot of different sci-fi influences. Like it's taken a little bit of The Matrix, a little bit of Tron, which is unsurprising because Joseph Kosinski directed Tron Legacy, a little bit of a Total Recall, a little bit of Portal the game, and even just a tiny smidge of the original Judge Dredd film. And it's made a nice big sci-fi soup from all these things. But the problem is that it's not as good as the sum of all of its parts. Like it's not as good as any of those sci-fi films, even though Tron Legacy was a bit weak in the first place. But this film feels very weak, and the problem is that it has an odd pacing problem. The parts of the story that you shouldn't really focus on for too long are kind of drawn out, and the parts of the story that are really important to drive the plot are really short and brief, and so you end up with this feeling that all of the things that should be really focused on in the story are just jumped past to get back to this sort of like lovey-dovey romance story almost kind of thing. And you know, that the good thing is that the actual sci-fi moments, the bits that it does brush past kind of quickly, are actually really good and are enough to keep you interested. If you want to go and see this film, you will find it slow, kind of pretty much guaranteed that, but like you will feel like it's just rushed, a little bit rushed at the points where it shouldn't be, and way too slow at the points where it should be a bit quicker, because you get the gist of it pretty quick. Anyway, yeah, so everybody does a valiant job in the film. The main problem for me in this film is Tom Cruise. He seems, it all is very focused on Tom, as a lot of films that have Tom Cruise in are very focused on Tom. But the problem is that Tom Cruise still doesn't strike me as an action star. He kind of, I think that all of the films that I liked about him, were films where it was more drama based and things like that. And I think that when he was in Mission Impossible, which wasn't very actiony, like he kind of got a thirst for it and he's just carried on. And that's the problem, because it doesn't feel quite right. You kind of feel like this role could have been better suited to somebody a bit more action orientated, you know. Who that would be, I don't know, but you know, so you do feel a bit like, you know, just not quite right. You can probably guess by the way I'm talking that I'm just a little bit undecided. It's quite fresh in my mind, but I did feel like it had real pacing problems. It had real problems with like bits of the plot and the characterization of different characters and stuff like that. But then on the other side, it had some great characterization and then like had amazing set pieces and a great color platter and choices and everything like that, and some stunning design pieces and everything. But is that more style over substance? I think that is. I think it is more style over substance. It came down and it felt very middle of the road. I think it's probably going to have a lot of commercial success. It's got a very strategically timed at the end of the Easter holidays release date, but I don't think, like any of those other sci-fi films, you would want to watch it again. And that's definitely a problem for Oblivion, because it doesn't have a rewatchability. It might be commercially successful, but it doesn't have the sort of draw to make you want to watch it again and again and again and again, like The Matrix or anything like that. So, for a very middle of the road film, you're going to get a very middle of the road mark. It is only getting 2.5 from us, okay? So go and check it out if you fancy. There's definitely worse films out there just now. It's kind of a good like weekend, Friday night film to watch. You probably will come out of it slightly disappointed, so keep your expectations low and you might enjoy it a bit. You might enjoy a bit of good sci-fi fun. It's a bit dry actually as well, just thinking about that. It's not really fun, it's a bit dry, so maybe not. But yeah, have a few drinks, might have a good time. But yeah, that's 2.5 from us. We'll see you next time. Bye!